Unbreakable, Unapologetic, Unstoppable. And I'm your host, Bonita Payton. And this is where I say what you feel out loud. This episode is for the woman who talked herself out of the truth just to keep people around. For the person who feels silence with loyalty to folks who wouldn't lift a finger for them. For anyone who left lonely and then realized God was just clearing the room. Let me tell you what I saw when I stopped talking. Let me tell you who left when I stopped calling. Let me tell you what God showed me when I sat in silence. See, silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. When you stop defending, stop fixing, stop over-explaining, you don't lose control, you gain clarity. We confuse silence with loneliness, but it's actually solitude. And that solitude gives you revelation. When you're no longer pouring out your thoughts to people who misuse them, God steps in to fill that space with wisdom. You begin to see patterns, feel things deeper, and hear the voice of God more clearly. Silence strips away distractions. The world teaches us to talk through discomfort, but God teaches us to listen through it. The silence showed me what I couldn't see while I was so busy saving others. See, silence reveals intentions. Just go quiet, pull back. Don't explain, just watch. You'll learn more from people's reactions to your silence than from anything they ever told you out loud. Some will start reaching out, checking in, trying to reconnect. Others, they'll just disappear. And it hurts, but the truth is priceless. Because not everyone is meant to go with you into the next chapter. Your silence separates the ones who love your soul from the ones who love your service. I want you to think of one person who disappeared when you stopped pouring. Was that connection ever real? See, silence exposes performance. People perform when they think they're being watched. But when the attention stops, when the applause dies down, you get to see the truth. Silence removes the stage, the lights, and the script. And that's when you learn who's been acting. If you always lead the conversation, you never hear their heart. If you always check in, you never know if they missed you. Let people talk in the absence of their words, and they'll tell you everything. The quiet stripped away the mask and left me to face with the truth. You see, the pain of betrayal is a holy teacher. There's a sacred silence about betrayal, one that echoes with the questions: why? How? What did I miss? But that silence is also a teacher. It's where your soul unpacks the truth. You see, you learn who you were pretending to be just to stay loved. You recognize how many times you ignored all the red flags. You remembered the nights you gave, even when it cost you your peace. See, that's the curriculum of heartbreak. And in silence, you finally pass the test. Don't numb your pain, name it. I want you to write a letter to yourself, what I learned when they left. Don't get scared. You'll be amazed when you read it back to yourself. You see, the gift is hidden in grief. Loss isn't just about people. It's also about the identity you lose when someone walks away. But grief clears that fog. It tells you this is what mattered and this is what didn't. In silence, grief whispers. What noise drowns out. That you're stronger than you thought. That healing isn't loud. It's sacred and it's slow. That even in heartbreak, there is design, clarity rising. Like gold being refined by fire. See, clarity is a gift that grief leaves behind. See, loyalty must have boundaries. See, loyalty is sacred. But when it misplaced, it becomes a chain. When you give without discernment, you pour into a bottomless pit. See, loyalty without boundaries is a fast track to exhaustion. Silence will show you who only loved your yes. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop giving endless second chances, you see who's loyal to your soul and not your benefits. Are you loyal to that who hasn't even earned it? Stop and ask yourself the question, because many of us are. We take loyalty to a whole different level because we put them before ourselves and we're so loyal to them that we're disloyal to ourselves. I want you to sit with that. And I want you to run that back one more time. We're so loyal to them that we're disloyal to ourselves. See, fake love mimics the real thing. Fake love doesn't always feel fake. It knows how to act real. It shows up just enough to confuse you. It uses words like always and forever, but fades when it's inconvenient. You know, it's fake when love demands a performance, and when no is met with guilt, when honesty gets punished, and when you stop being easy, the love stops being consistent. See, you know, boundaries expose what love is built on. Intention or benefits. You know, people are so in tune to fake love these days that they know exactly how to make it feel real. They know exactly what to say and when to say it, and it hits hard. See, they make sure that the fake love shows up when you need it the most. When you're at your lowest point, that's when they come through with the fake love. Because then you believe that it's real. So when you go from your lowest to your highest, you believe that the love is real. So when you're at your highest, you reward them for being with you when you were at your lowest. They're not dumb. They're really smart. They know exactly when and exactly how to show up, and we never realize just how fake the love is. See, your light attracts both good and bad. There's a reason why everyone wants to be around you. But not everyone stays when you're dim your lights. You know, you're magnetic. Your energy is nourishes. Your presence heals. And not all who show up deserve access to that. See, you are not a free emotional buffet. It is not all you can eat. And it's not free. When your silence starts asking for balance, the takers scatter. You don't owe them your joy. You don't owe them your bandwidth. Protecting your peace is a form of praise. If your presence doesn't affect them, your presence never mattered. You know, sometimes you have to just sit back and change some things, you see? If you're the one that sends the good morning text every morning, maybe you need to stop and see if they don't get the message. Will they send you a good morning text to see how you doing? If you're the one that's always doing the checking in and asking, well, how's your day going? But they never ask you how your day is going. You need to take a second look. You see, when we talk about your light, some people's light is so bright and their energy is so magnetic that people who need that, they draw to you because their life is draining. They need that energy that you have. But you know, it's like kryptonite. I don't know how else to explain it. Some people are just like kryptonite, and they will drain every bit of your superpowers until you're on the floor and you can't even get up. You can't let people drain your superpower because, see, that's the power that God gave us. And then we know, we see the red flags, but we ignore them. And they know that because we are who we are and we do what we do, they can just keep eating at our table. Because they know that our heart is so big that we're not going to let them go hungry. And we're just going to keep giving of ourselves piece after piece after piece until there's no more to give. You know, you have some people that'll ask you for your last dollar. Even when you're willing to give them half of your last dollar, instead of them accepting half, they will tell you, well, can't I just have it all and you wait until you get more money? So, you know, it's like this. You have to think about it. Who in your life would ask you for your last dollar? Who in your life will take your last and not think one thing about it? Because people like you, you know, the good people, the people who believe in peace but keep falling into drama. You know, I always heard that misery loves company. And I also heard that many people who throw pity parties want to invite the whole world because they want it jumping. They want everybody at that pity party and everybody should be involved. But see, this is where silence plays. Because you don't need to attend everybody's pity party. Sometimes you have to reject the invitation. So let me tell you, when fake leaves, the real can arrive. Every fake exit is a divine vacancy. See, I used to mourn every person who left. I thought their absence was a loss. Now I realize it was alignment. It was God doing cleanup so the right people could finally get a seat at the table. When the fake walks out, the real can finally walk in, uninterrupted. You know, the manipulative friend, gone. The user who only loved the spotlight, not the struggle, gone. The relationship that drained me, confused me, made me feel like I had to earn love, also gone. In their place, God sent presence, not performance. He sent people who didn't need an invitation to love me. They just did. They didn't wait for the camera to show up. They brought comfort and silence. The real doesn't ask for proof of your pain. It sits in it with you. You know, the real doesn't ghost you when you go quiet. It checks on you more. See, the real recognizes your value without a spotlight, without a crowd. It doesn't show up just for celebration. It sticks around for the restoration. The silence wasn't an exit, it was an elevation. I realized the ones who couldn't stand the quiet couldn't stand to see me whole, because my silence meant no more scripts, no more control, no more manipulation. My silence turned the lights on, and baby, when the lights come on, the fakes scatter like roaches. When I stopped chasing, fixing, and over-explaining, I started receiving. You know, real connections, real love, real sisterhood, real alignment. I stopped being everyone's therapist, everyone's hype one. everyone's emergency contact, and I became my own peacekeeper. And that's when the real ones showed up. The ones who didn't just love me for what I could do, but for who I was inside. Your silence is a secret. It will shift the real from the fake. It will separate what was pretending from what was promised. I want you to stop apologizing for the silence that's bringing you healing. The real was always waiting for you to stop filling the room with the noise. You kept bringing that drama every time you stayed because you were being loyal. You brought that over and over and over again. So let me tell you, it might feel like no one sees you, but heaven is watching. God is working. Angels are moving. In the quiet, He's rearranging. You're not abandoned. You're being aligned. Every moment of silence is sacred. When you're not talking, you're finally listening. When you're not performing, you're finally healing. Let your soul rest. Let your heart mend. Let God speak. You know, I want you to take 10 minutes after this episode. No music, no scrolling. I just want you to breathe and be with Him. I want you to just think about it. You gotta take a minute. You know, because I know when I was young, they used to tell me that God said when you pray, you gotta listen for His answer. But if you always talking, when are you ever gonna hear what God has to say? You can't do both. You can't talk through everything and listen at the same time. It doesn't work like that. Not at all. You have to actually take time and be quiet. And when you pray, you have to listen. You have to understand what God is telling you. But you can't do that if you always talking. And when God removed people out your life, you can't go back and get them because you missed them. God removed them for a reason. And so you going back to get them is just not the answer. Let them stay where they at. You don't need them in your life, not at all. So think about it. And when you're sitting there being silent, peaceful, drama-free, no one telling you what you cannot do, you'll understand that everything that God's been telling you is true. Everything you will find in silence when you stop talking. I want to close with this. In the quiet, I rose. I used to fill silence with sacrifice, cook up meals and swallow my voice, decorate chaos with loyalty, dress betrayal with my best choice. I smiled while breaking, held space while shaking, gave my last breath to people who were never planning on staying. But when I stopped talking, God started revealing. When I stopped chasing, He started healing. He showed me who faded. When my light stopped performing, He showed me who stayed when I stopped conforming. Silence ain't just peace, it's a mirror, a lesson, a sword. It doesn't cut with violence, it cuts with truth from the Lord. In the still I saw it all, the fake smiles, the loyal lies, the way I used to shrink just to be seen, how I dim so others could rise. But not anymore. I walk in my volume even in mute. My spirit speaks louder when I don't have to dispute. Now I get to go with no warning. I leave tables where love won't dine. I no longer beg to be chosen because baby, I shine. So if you feel quiet, don't rush back to sound. If it's lonely, let it linger. God is somewhere around. Let the silence separate the fake from the divine because the noise leaves your life. Purpose starts speaking in lines. I want you to just take some time after the show. Sit in silence. Don't call, don't text, don't check. Just take some time, one-on-one, you and yourself. Take that time in silence and look around. Maybe if you stop talking, you stop texting, you will hear what God is really trying to tell you. I want you to understand about silence. Silence isn't a bad thing. You don't always have to be loud. Loud is not always a good thing. I want to close today and just let you know, you didn't lose love, you lost a lie. You didn't lose people, you lost the weight. You didn't lose your voice, you just stopped wasting it on folks who never listened. Because when silence spoke, truth answered, and now you see it all clearly. See, this is your season of discernment, of deep peace, of divine alignment. So protect your energy, honor your silence, and trust what it reveals. See, you're not broken, you're becoming. You're not crazy, you're called, and you're not alone, you're rising. This has been She Rises Studio with Bonita Payton. Unbreakable, unapologetic, and unstoppable. Where I say what you feel out loud. I want you to catch the full episode on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and always at bonitapayton.com/podcast. If this spoke to your spirit, I want you to share it. Tag a sister, leave a review, and let's rise together. And don't forget to stop by either the TikTok shop, Amazon, or Barnes & Nobles and pick up my book, She Rises, the Bonita Payton story. I'm out, and I'll see you next Wednesday.